What's the person dire?
Yes, hi. I was just calling with a possible tip on the missing girl, Jessica Ridgeway.
Okay.
Would I just speak with you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yes. Well, my name is Danielle Keikoa, and we were actually recently in to talk to Detective Galbraith about another crime that took place in the Westminster, Arvada area. And he has quite a bit of information revolving around some suspects in the Personhood USA movement. And Bob Enyart, he is a convicted child abuser who lives in the neighborhood. And we just coincidentally, by chance, were doing some investigation on a unsolved crime up in Boulder several years ago, and we had made a phone call to Detective Trujillo yesterday to talk to them about the evidence we have surrounding that crime. We have about 2 decades worth of circumstantial evidence that places them at the scene of that crime, and it involves young children, and so the circumstances surrounding her disappearance reflects a lot of the types of things that these people do. And we felt led to just at least offer a tip, and we have lots of information if you want to follow up. But
Okay. What is your name?
My name is Danielle Keikoa. It's Kekoa.
And what's your phone number?
720-443-3264.
720-443-3264?
Yes.
Okay, and what's the suspect's name?
It would be Bob Enyart. His full name is Robert Adolph Enyart.
Spell his last name for me.
Enyart.
Do you know his date of birth?
Yes, we do. It's 1/10/59.
Yes.
We have his social security and all kinds of information. He's on the radio show locally here in Denver, 3 o'clock every day, and he works. His studio is on 72nd and Oak, right down the street, basically from her disappearance. And he has a whole network of convicted criminals that work with him. All kinds of. He's a convicted child abuser, like I said, but many of the men that work with him have a long history of criminal activity towards women and children, and just trespassing and lots of violent history. Stalking, yes, they have a criminal history of stalking, and they are under investigation right now. We've been putting the heat on them. About 3 weeks ago, we released basically a letter to them publicly, letting them know our intentions of exposing them. And by chance, 3 weeks ago is when it was reported that there was a dark sedan trying to pick up children. Again, another coincidence. But they know that the end is near for them, because we are going to expose them for another crime up in Boulder, and so it's likely that.
So this guy's been involved in child abduction crimes?
No, he has not been caught with any child abduction, but child abuse, convicted child abuse on multiple children.
Really dramatic. Just keep it to the facts. Okay, just keep the facts. Okay. You're throwing them off, honey.
Okay. He's been convicted of abusing other children?
Yes, he was convicted in 1994, and his girlfriend's child at the time, and then his own children. He had a restraining order against them, against himself for leaving bruising on his own children, and then
it was a police officer's son.
Yeah, it was a police officer's son in Jeffco. Was it Jeffco?
It was County Sheriff.
Jefferson County Sheriff at the time. His name was John Maines.
Yeah.
And that was in the news as well back in 1999, in the late 90s. And so all these people live in this neighborhood, a very short radius, right around where this girl was abducted. The Mason. Okay.
Well, I'm going to give you a call to get some more information, okay? You said you have a lot of, 2 years worth, or?
We have 2 decades worth.
Decades worth of info.
Okay.
Well, Galbraith has.
But Galbraith, if you want to talk to Detective Galbraith or Sherry Spotke, Investigator Spotke, they were recently. Galbraith has all the information on it. We were recently framed for a crime, and so we went to him with some information because it involves our children as well. And so he has a whole file basically just to look at in case if there were any future crimes in Westminster revolving these people. So.
Okay, I'll pass the information along.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.